Welcome, lunch and learners. Welcome back. This is episode 45 on June 13th, 2023. And as Coach Juan says, the only June 13th, 2023 you'll ever have. So, welcome, Coach Cecilia. Welcome, Coach Juan. Want to
Thank
say
you.
anything?
Hello. Thank you for having us, Bruce.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, you in the viewing audience, welcome. And we are always committed to making a difference for you. So, we do a little brainstorming ahead of time and saying, what would be an interesting conversation that could actually make a difference for the viewing audience? And what we hit upon was a couple of questions. What are you passionate about? I know we've asked that before, but always, what are you passionate about? And then the second question is probably just as important. What are you willing to invest to acquire that or to achieve that? And Coach Juan, I believe you've supplied four currencies for the viewers.
Yes.
How come I don't see them? Do I need to do something?
Well, I'm sorry, I put them on the description. I didn't put them on the chat.
Okay, no problem. So I'm going to recite them as best I remember them in the order that we designated. When we talk about four currencies, probably the currency that most comes to mind for everybody is cash, credit, it's money. We're used to working for the almighty dollar here in the United States. Coach Juan was working for the almighty peso in
Yes.
Mexico. So, it's that currency that most of us are most familiar with. The second one would probably be time. We trade our time for money. Wealthy people trade money for time. They're paying people to do the tasks that many of us do on a regular basis. If you have your house cleaned by somebody else, that's something that a lot of us do our own house cleaning. So you take an Uber, you take a taxi, somebody else is providing you your transportation and you're providing them money. The third one is knowledge. The doctor has spent many, many years in undergrad, in medical school, in residency, and therefore he and she get to charge a lot of money. The dentist, too, things like that. Um, Coach Juan was a plumber installing pools, and frankly, I imagine if you're working in high-end homes, they want the very best pool installers, and therefore he would be at the top of his game. And he got to charge for that because people could feel assured they're going to get a quality product that's backed by a quality company. If there's any problems, they'll make sure that the problems get repaired. So you have money, you have time, you have knowledge. And the fourth one is relationships. So I don't know that a lot of people think of relationship as a currency, but I'm getting this mental image of barn building. Out west, if something happened to a person's barn and you couldn't stable your animals there, your cows, your horses, whatever, the community, in my mind, would work together to take a day or two off together to rebuild that family's barn. And that was if you were in good standing in the community, they liked you, they wanted you to remain a member of the community. Same thing. Teachers help teachers. I'm sure plumbers help plumbers. I've done a lot of camping, and it's second nature if you forgot a hammer or if you ran out of stakes, and I mean stakes for pounding into the ground to hold the tent down. It's second nature. Say, I'd like to borrow your hammer. Do you have an extra set of stakes? I'll replace them. I'll go into the town tomorrow. Right now, the town's closed. Do you have a cup of coffee? Do you have coffee? I have something. Are you out of eggs? I'd be happy to lend you eggs. And we all work together. And that's a currency. So, going back to the question, what are you passionate about? And question number two, what are you willing to invest to acquire that? So, amongst the coaches, could either one of you think of any situation where you really wanted something and you invested one of those currencies?
Ceci, you want to go first?
Well, in this morning in my life, I'm very passionate. I have a really a peaceful and enjoy and more joyful life. Working with myself and helping people. I'm very passionate about that and have friends, and I'm good about that. I love friends. love people, and I want to help where I belong. So, like, I belong to groups, and I'm very passionate to help and to participate in whatever they're doing. So my passion at the moment is to one of the currencies here is relationships. For me, it's very valuable. It's one of the best ones for me because creates a lot of energy, physical and mental, and energy you get everywhere you go. So I feel there that is my purpose is to bring peace and harmony and love wherever I go. So in order to give in, what did you say? One of the questions says here. So I'm passionate about life, about friends, about people, about helping. And what I'm willing to invest to acquire that is I am going to really want to give up, for instance, being having many activities and by focusing on one and on two and be there present and be there to help and not only to get there to get the benefit from that they give it to me, but also give back some to the community where I belong to. I belong to like 4 or 5 groups in my life. I belong to a yoga group. It's Tai Chi Yoga, and it's a beautiful group that I belong to. I belong to a group of my spiritual life. That is, I'm a Buddhist. I belong to a Soka Gakkai International. It's a group of Buddhist people who aim with that is about peace in the world. So, and I belong to real estate investing. So I do real estate investing. My work is there. What I do is I help people to become wealthy by investing in real estate. So I teach them how to do it. I help them. I teach them how to I locate properties that are in distress, and I help them, the people, to learn how to fund those properties, how to fix and flip those properties, and how to get a big wealthy returns. So I belong to a group, and those groups really feel my life. So I'm passionate about belong groups where I have a meaningful and have some passion about living and moving forward in our lives, helping each other. So I'm a community person. I have another group of my friends, my girlfriends. Those the groups that I belong to, those really I'm passionate about life, about friends, and about helping and about living life to the fullest. That's who I am.
Coach Jesse, those are wonderful. And I'm hearing one consistent currency, and I'm watching your face. It's the time you get to spend in all of the
Mhm.
activities and even the time you spend with your girlfriends.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
you invest time.
Perfect. Yes, I like to invest time and give time to them to talk and to express themselves, and also have my space to express myself. So, you're
Beautiful.
right. So for me, time is now the essence of my life.
Coach Juan, what
Beautiful.
about you?
You know what? Well, thank you, Coach Bruce. Thank you, Coach Ceci, for sharing. One of the things that I'm super passionate about is coaching. I mean, coaching for me is like this is the dream come true. Like I always wanted to coach people. I didn't think at the beginning. I didn't think that I had what it takes to coach anybody. But you know what? It's through that knowledge and through building those meaningful relationships that I get to, and I also get to spend more time. You know, like building those meaningful relationships. So when you talk about those currencies, you don't just have to focus on one. You could focus on all
Mhm.
four, but sometimes when it comes to those currencies, you can't do one without doing the other. So there's always a combination of doing two or three or maybe even all four. But through coaching people, like that's my passion, and I discovered that's what I'm really passionate about. So you know what they said, when if you find the thing that you're really passionate about, you never have to work another day in your life. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of commitment build those meaningful relationships, and there's a lot of time involved in that. So we just have to be mindful and be more aware of what is it that we're doing with our life, and
Correct.
where's all of our energy going towards. So that's what I have, Bruce. Thank you for asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're very welcome. When I'm listening, I'm always thinking, what am I getting when this person's speaking? What I'm hearing from you is you're making a major investment of time, but you're acquiring a major accumulation of knowledge. Like putting what you're learning into practice, you're not just putting something in your head, but you're giving it out again. And that's who I know you to be as a coach,
Mhm. Thank
as
you.
an investor.
Yeah, because we're making those investments. We're investing in the time, the knowledge, and we were talking before we came on live. Like, there's a difference between having that knowledge and applied knowledge. And applied knowledge is what we get to do with our clients and with our other coaches here in the same team. We get to
Right.
share those ideas, and we get to mastermind together. That's what makes it beautiful.
Right. So really, thank you both. Those are great examples. I'm thinking that I created comic books with kids. And I want everybody out there to know I am not an artist in any way, shape, or form. Have not been a storyteller and stuff like that. So, but I had a passion to work with kids to get them to speak about what they think solutions would be to all the violence in their environment, you know? And I was like, I made a declaration. We're going to create a professional quality comic book where kids are going to create characters and do the drawings and create the stories. And I had some friends that said, "What? What? You're not involved with comic books. You're not." They said, "Where did that come from?" Well, as a private detective for a number of years, I had done an investigation for a guy, Gary Calabono, and I knew Gary owned a chain of comic book stores when the tradition was back then you bought comic books in a drugstore. And so he took the risk of opening up retail stores that were only funded by sales of comic books. And I had done an investigation for him and his wife, and I knew it was about a little boy who they were protecting. They were fostering him. So I knew he liked kids. So I called him and I said, "Gary, can you help me get any comic book artists?" And I told him what I was up to. He says, "Sure." And good to true to his word, he got me a couple comic book artists. That's the power of relationship. Um, then I got a teacher from the School of the Art Institute because somebody mentioned to him that's what we were doing. It was sort of anti-violence comics, and his daughter was being solicited by a local street gang and her boyfriend too. And so he said, "Bruce, I will come and teach your kids for free." And then we had a community artist, graphic artist, who said, "I would like to participate." So when the word started getting out, at one point I got a call from the Chicago Sun-Times. They said, "We heard you're doing this with kids." I'm like, "Yeah." They said, "Well, we want to do a story at you guys, and they said, "We want to send a camera crew out
Mhm.
to photograph your kids." So I'm like, I don't know. I got to get permission from the parents. They said, "Well, get permission." And the parents were willing to give permission, and they sent the camera crew out. And when the story appeared in the newspaper, the CBS affiliate here called us and they said, "We want to do a story on your guys." And one thing led to another. So the whole power of relationships, I just got this beautiful exposure to. So you guys out in the viewing audience, if you've got your passion, be willing to invest something in yourself. And there's those four currencies. So please take a look at what you'd be willing to invest to realize your dreams.
Yes, yes, and thank you for that, Bruce. And one more time, they're in the description. So remember, it's time. Who wants to go to the next one? Time
Money,
Money, knowledge, and
and
relationships.
yes, and relationships. So, and if you guys have any questions about any of those currencies, or you want more, so we could go more into detail with any one of those that you like. So just let us know, put it in the chat, or send us a question, put it in the comments, and we'll be more than happy to do that for you. So thank you guys for being part of this Lunch and Learn once again. And we'll be back tomorrow with something exciting for you guys. So thank you, Coach Ceci, Coach Bruce, and we'll be back
Thank you to
tomorrow.
you guys. Thank you to you too.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Coach Bruce and Coach Juan, for inviting me to be part of you guys. Thank you.